Hey, what's up, YouTube? I thought I better do an update here. I was sitting here looking at my tanks, and I gotta be honest with you. I'm about 3 sheets to the wind right now, but this tank mainly I needed to focus on because you get all these guys on YouTube and they talk about flow and their filters and how they run them and all this stuff. Alright, now if you look like 2 videos back, hold on, now I'm getting a big glare out of my 125 out here. Let me shut some lights off. I'm going to make you dizzy here for a second. Alright, that's off. Okay, so this tank, it's my 20-gallon long, and it was, I mean, in my previous videos, it's my most hated tank. But, okay, so say 2 days ago, I did a water change, and I cleaned out the filter and the actual downspout, the sponge, the cartridge, everything. I cleaned everything out. And now as I'm sitting here, I mean, call me wrong, but maybe it's just because I've had a few too many beers, but this tank's looking amazing. And it just goes to show what a little bit of maintenance can do for your tanks. Because, you know, it was looking terrible. It was probably my worst looking tank. And I did a water change. I cleaned the filter out. I did all this and that. And it's one of the better looking tanks now. I mean, I've been sitting here staring at it for about 2 hours. And I decided it's time to make a video because you can take what looks like a shitty looking tank and just turn it into an amazing looking tank with nothing. I mean, the growth isn't great. It's silica sand, you know what I mean? It's pool filter sand. It's not the best quality substrate. It's not the best quality plants. It's not the best quality anything. Most of this shit came from PetSmart, but, you know, and there's my Pristilla Tetras. I had one die on me the other day, and that's another thing that we need to touch on, that, you know, your fish are going to die, and I don't even know why it died or what became of it. You know, that one right there, if I can get a good shot of it, you see it's got like a swim bladder problem. These are all fish that I bought from, like, you know, a local chain store, a Petco, a PetSmart, you know, whatever's in your area. That's where I bought all these fish from, and my Cory cats, as you can see, are doing great. But one of my Pristillas died, but the other 5 are doing great. You know, I started out with 8, and I've lost 3 within maybe a 6-month period. Still doing alright, so, I mean, you just gotta fight the battle. This may just be a drunken talk video, but, you know, it is what it is, and I'm not even sure what I'm trying to focus on right here, but it's a good looking tank, and that, I mean, I guess all in all that's what I'm trying to say, is that I've been sitting here staring at the thing. I haven't looked at it in, you know, maybe 3-4 months, ever since I moved down here from upstairs, and this was my least focused on tank, and in my previous videos I've kind of shunned it down and said that, okay, well, this tank's not doing so well and this and that, and now all of a sudden it becomes one of my main focal tanks. I love to look at it. And I never meant to mean that in the past, like to say that it wasn't a cool tank to look at, because it really is. I mean, you got a bunch of plants from PetSmart, you got a bunch of fish from PetSmart, Petco, you got substrate from Home Depot, you know what I mean, with a little bit of Eco Complete underneath of it, and all of a sudden it turns out to be a cool tank. So here I am rambling on, drunk as hell. I don't even know if I want to move on to the other tanks. I haven't really looked at them, but okay, there's that one. Not doing so hot. Been running for 2 fucking years now, and it's ready to tear down, to be honest with you. But I don't really know where to go with this video because it all started out just, I was here drunk looking at this tank and it's focusing, and that's about the way that I felt looking at it. I had to focus for a second and really think about it because, you know, I've been thinking about, now with the move and everything, I've been thinking about tearing this tank down and you know, just giving all the fish to the pet store and stuff like that. But, you know, in all honesty, these fish have been with me for a long time. You know, I really got no right to just give them away. They deserve a part in the, you know, in the 125 just as much as any of my fish do. So, yeah, more drunken rambling. 5 minutes and 52, 53, 54 seconds. I don't even know if I'll publish this thing right now. Look at them Cory cats. Tell me those aren't fucking amazing. I love that fish right there. Even if I don't actually publish this video, some of these clips are definitely going to go into some other video. I just love them. I love these fish. And okay, when I did a water change, I grabbed a hold of that Anubias. I hate when people mispronounce things, but I'm one of the worst culprits of it. But yeah, you just grab a hold of the leaves and you do one of these numbers and rub on top of them, and you can get that brown algae off of there. It's not, just because you have algae doesn't mean that it's doomsday, you know what I mean? Like, you can get rid of the stuff. And just like you know, some of the other YouTube guys say, if you get hair algae, cut the shit off and throw it away. Like, just because you have algae doesn't mean it's the end of your tank. It's maintenance, it's water changes, it's getting in there, get your hands dirty, cut some shit out, you know, make your tank look good. It's up to you to make your tank look good. So, you know, I guess that's my 2 cents in a close to 10-minute video, and it's probably going to be 10 minutes by the time I'm done rambling. But it's a good looking video, really, you know, or good looking video. It's a good looking tank. It took a long time to get it there, but, you know, now it's finally where I want it. And now, of course, I got to move, but that gives me a chance to re-aquascape everything. There's no time that you can't there's no time that you can't change your tank, you know what I mean? Fish are just fish. They're gonna survive. They're born to survive. So you alright, so I'm gonna scoop the fish up, probably move them into that 125 gallon tank right there, which will make them more than happy, you know, the happiest fish on earth, especially coming from a little 20 gallon tank like this. But what I've learned from it is now I get to rescape this tank, most likely get rid of the white sand, you know, I'm not even sure yet. Maybe I'll keep the white sand and try it again, see if I can't do better next time. But it's always a challenge and it's always a battle. You know, you fight through it and your tank looks like shit for a really long time, and then you fix it, you know. And just when you think that you can't fix it, you fix it. And now it's my favorite tank in the room right now. You know what I mean? I got 5 tanks going in this house, and it's an amazing thing. It's look at it. I'll just shut up from here, I guess. I don't know what else to say. I started this out as a drunken video, and now it's pushing 10 minutes. But bottom line, you really need to just enjoy your tanks, and you go with the ups, you go with the downs, and eventually they turn out looking like that. You know what I mean? I don't even know if I'm getting a good shot of it right now, but you know, look at those Cory cats going to town over there. Look at my crebensis, my dickhead crebensis. He's in here somewhere. He's probably hidden up inside the moss. I'll get a couple of close shots here and see what happens. Like I said, even if I don't publish this, maybe it'll be a couple of cool close shots and you guys will never even know what I'm talking about. But I'd really like to just publish it and, yeah, see, there he goes. There goes my dickhead Crebensis. But yeah, I'd like to publish it and just so you know who, what I'm all about. This is what I do, you know what I mean? I sit here and I get drunk and I stare at my tanks. And if you don't like it, same way as my friends, you know what I mean? A lot of my friends look at me and they're like, oh, you're way too into fish tanks, you this and that, blah, blah, blah. And right now, like, I'm rambling on. And I say fuck you because I love my fish tanks. And I sit and stare at them for hours on end. And that's what it's all about, you know? So, now I'm going to end this video with no point in hand whatsoever besides my sweet-ass Julie Corey catfish. Look at that bad dude. Oh, and it's not going to focus because he's too fast. And look, here's the Crebensis. There's the mean motherfucker right there. He can be a jerk, but he's also an extremely cool fish to look at. If you ever think about getting a Crebensis, it's worth it. You might want to give him back, but when it all comes down to it, when they color up like that, and he's a fantastic fish. He really is. I'm sorry for the shoddy ass camera work. But yeah, look at that fish. Alright, I gotta cut this off because I'm probably being a drunken lunatic by now. But, you know what? This is what I do alone. If you ever want to know your fellow fish keepers when you're watching YouTube without all the